it's a better connection tonight. Right, as far as I know, the title is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I wonder where you are. You know, actually, these are paracetamols. 10 pesos each. So I'm going to take one now. That's the last of them. 30 pesos. Let me just show you something. Wait a moment. A little water. Don't really need water. I can easily swallow the tablets without water. Right, let's have a look. Let me just move that. 10 pesos for a big egg. 10 pesos for one paracetamol. So how do people in the Philippines, especially the poor people, afford paracetamol? They probably don't. And it's the same with the vitamins here as well, guys, you know. I'll try and sit down later on. If the connection's okay and I can sit down, far better for me. I can concentrate. So, you know, far better. They don't, you know, paracetamol, they don't afford them. Same with vitamin tablets. Right, what we've been doing this morning. I'll wait to see who join us. As I said, I won't be doing no more live chat, live stream. And what are we doing now? We're on another live stream. So hopefully, like I said, guys, hopefully the live stream's quite good. Got one joining us, so good evening. Right, so this morning actually, what I've been doing this morning. But I'll wait till a few join us. So what I've been doing this morning, like I said, still laid around on the floor, not doing a lot. We don't have an internet connection, so it can get quite boring. So what I did, I actually went outside and I started to do some of the garden. Even though I didn't feel like it, you know, laid on the floor all day. Not much fun yet, I know. So I dug a lot of plants out, pulled a lot of plants up, and I made a trellis for the vegetables. So I actually took some string beans, runner beans. I think I've got two different kinds. One's a purple one, as far as I remember, greeny purple. So, you know, I put some runner beans in. And what else? I've got one bitter fruit in. And I'm going to actually grow it up this trellis, and I'm actually going to pull the trellis forward a bit, you know, so I've got a slope, and then I can actually grow the runner beans and I can actually grow the bitter fruit. So I think that's what I'm actually going to be doing. So hopefully, you know, because it's outside of the house, it's easy for me to water. I can keep an eye on them and I can watch them grow, which is good for me. You know, and then we've got us other garden across the way there. Now, we've actually been, so after that, I actually did a lot of flattening off, you know, some of the garden, flattened it off. I put some more rocks around, and some of the plants I took out of the garden. Actually, what I did is sawed all the branches off, so it's basically a stick. And I'll probably plant them later on, but I planted a few, but I thought, you know, they're not doing very well, a lot of the plants in the drought. It's no rain, we water them every day, but it's just that hot, it's that hot here and now, guys, not a good time to be here. Right, I do actually know a few foreigners. They're flying back abroad, they're flying back home because it's too hot now in the Philippines. So 6 months of the year, they come here. When it comes to summer, they go back home. They miss their winter, right? They miss their winter, and then they go back home when the weather's nice, right? So that's what quite a few guys I know are doing now. They're going to fly home very, very soon. So, you know, like I said, I'm looking out of the window and there's a lot of stars in the sky twinkling away. And I thought, wow, you know, we're getting really, really hot days. Things are actually changing. So what's changing? Can see something happening up there, but don't see any comments. Nobody's joined us, but I can see there's three that's joined us actually. No comments. Become a channel member, guys. I'm actually going to do another channel member, so I'll have two channel members only videos, but you will be able to watch the channel members videos in about 2 weeks time. So the channel members will be able to watch the channel members only videos, but then I'll actually put it onto public so everybody can watch the videos in about 2 or 3 weeks time when the channel members watch it first. So that's what I thought. Right, I'm actually going to move the phone and hopefully the camera good. If it's not, right, it actually I'll it. Right, it's a little dark, so what to do about that? We'll do something, don't worry about that. See? Right, like I said, it's not much fun. It's really hard for me. It's not good for you guys that's viewing the video, so I do apologise. Look. Right, there's boxing on in Mercia. So a friend actually contacted me. I actually did the plaza, actually saw the I think I deleted the videos. I was in the plaza and I was chatting live, I think Facebook. So I can't get into Mercia. Day on, day off, day on, day off, day on. That's how we go to Mercia now. Because we've 6 o'clock, 5:30. We actually went and we got a nice big bag of mangoes, Indian. Hey, right, I'm on the science it now. I lost connection. Actually, a bit later on when they're a little bit better. But it's about 8:30 now to guess. We've been collecting mangoes today. Like I said, it's pointless me waiting for someone to make a comment, so I'll just chat, right, till I actually do build the channel, and I actually do manage to get, you know, a Wi-Fi. Once I've got one side of a Wi-Fi, should be okay. You know, I can actually come online anytime. So that's what I actually wanted to do. I wanted to go into Mercia, watch the boxing, go around the town a little, but can't do it, I'm afraid. Right, so I've got a big bag of mangoes. I've made a video. I don't know if it's going to be made into a members only video, or Sunday we'll be at the famous street market, and what we might be doing Sunday is making, I probably make 3 videos or 2 videos. One will be channel members only and just be for the public, but they will both, sooner or later, the channel members will actually be made public, so all you guys can watch it anyway. It's just one of the channel members' perks. So Jovaline were chatting to some girls outside, the neighbours, the ladies. When we came back from the mango trees, she's chatting to the girls next door, and they got on about Dumagetti. I've not really been to Dumagetti, guys, but I have been to Dumagetti, so to speak. You know, I actually got dropped off in Dumagetti Port, Seaport. Right, Lee's on. Good evening, Lee. Oh, hi. Rather, of Dumagetti. A bus came past, rickety, terrible old bus. You know, we learn, this is how we learn. I'm on this terrible rickety old bus that should actually be in a scrapyard. Jumped on it, that was my experience in Dumagetti. But a few little bad things, but I'll go into it later. So, that was Dilmageddon. That was my idea of Dilmageddon. It didn't really look very special, but you know, I'm sure there's a lot of beautiful places around Dilmageddon. So Jovelyn came in and she said, I've been talking to such and so and such and so, and it's about 3 hours. From where we are now, we can get it in 3 hours. We're not going to do it. Motorbike's not up to it. I've got no insurance, need my chain and sprockets putting on, need front and back brake pads. Front and back brake pads should be okay. So, but I actually need chain and sprocket oil change, and the bike needs insuring. So I'm not going to do Dilmageddon for quite a long while. But it would be nice. Plus, we've got the 2 dogs, so we can't really go. Right, sooner or later we will go. Excuse me, still got the fever. So what happens is, she says it's about 3 hours. Well, I know this because I actually was chatting to 3 ladies. Went to Manbakal about 2-3 months ago, probably 3 months ago, and I was chatting to 3 ladies. Right, they'd got their own car, and as far as I can remember, these 3 ladies was from, this is what they told me, don't know where they came from. They said, oh yeah, we're actually in Bacolod, we're in Bacolod City, and they tried to find a place in Manbakal. We actually found the place when we were going back out to Manbakal, and we looked, we're on the right hand side, can't remember the place. So we went to this cafe in Manbakal. It's not called Manbakal. Can't remember the place till Jovelyn comes in. I know San Sebastian. We was in San Sebastian. San is either San or Sam Sebastian, and it goes up in San Linian. Whatever, Linian. So we're in this place and we're chatting to these 3, I'm chatting to these 3 girls, ladies. He says, yeah, if you're going to Bacolod, there's a way, and it's 3 hour drive, or on your motorbike, take you 3 hours. I says, really? Because as I remember it, on the bus, it took us over 6 hours on the bus to get here into Mercia, Bacolod, to get to Bacolod City. And Jovelyn been chatting to someone today, and what she said was, if we go to, Le Carletta? We go to Le Carletta, which is basically straightforward, or we go to Bago, Le Carletta. That's where we was, near Manbakal. That's where we was. That's where we were chatting to the 3 ladies. Minoyan. We're in Minoyan. Lovely place. You're high up in the mountains, and you can see the sea. You can see over into Bacolod City. You can see the sea from Manbakal. Right, so 3 hours, but it took me over 6 hours on the bus, you know. I'll be glad when this flu's gone. So what happened was, professional ladies as well got a nice car, and they'd all got husbands, and their husbands all worked abroad, so their husbands had, you know, good jobs, and the ladies actually did look professional. So, Lee, I hope everything's fine and you're taking care there. I got a little bit of bad news earlier on. Not really bad news for me, just a friend, you know, a Filipino guy, good friend that helps me, you know, a good guy, you know. At least there's one good guy I've got as a friend here, you know. He had a bit of a bad bit of bad news. like I said, fever here in the Philippines. Not very good. Tried a bit of bad news, so God bless. So 3 hours we can actually get down into Dumaguete. Now I said to Joveline, well, what's so special about Dumaguete? You know, I'm sure Dumaguete is quite a nice place, but I'm sure there's a lot better places than Dumaguete. Right. Trust me to start coughing when I start to do a live stream. Yeah, me too. You know, this cold, it is what it is. You know, we'll suffer. It's as simple as that. You know. And Joveline won't come in and chat to you while I, have a drink. So it is what it is. So I apologise. The cold, guys. So Dumaguete, mate, I will actually get to Dumaguete and I'll do it on the bike one day, right? But I think there's a lot of better places than Dumaguete. Sipalai for one, Palawan for another, El Nido another one, and Bohol and Leyte, but it's on Negros Island. So what's on Negros Island, I think there's a lot better, there's a good few places better than Dumaguete. And I have actually seen Dumaguete on YouTube. And all, like I said, I'm sure there's some beautiful places in Dumaguete, guys, really nice. But as I remember, Dumaguete, there's more boardwalk. There's just a boardwalk, down the seafront, and it's quite a nice little town. But I thought, well, I'd rather just go to somewhere like Sipalai, or Silai. So, it's probably a lot nicer, and we've got the beautiful sea. So I think, and there's one place I would actually love to go to, and we see it every morning. When I actually look out of these windows, or I look out of the door here, every morning I actually see the volcano. I'm not going to move it. Chocolate Hills are there near. Chocolate Hills are in Bohol. So Chocolate Hills are in Bohol. But when I actually went to Le Carlette, we went to Le Carlette. She's on about San Carlos City. When I went to Le Carlette, and then we travelled and we went through some towns. We hit a big town. What was the name? The big arc near the Canlaon volcano. That's what I want to go and see. This volcano here. The Canlaon. What?
La Castellana.
So we actually got to La Castellana. We got to La Castellana, right? And we didn't get any further. It was getting dark, and we had to come back home. So we didn't actually get to the volcano. Now there's a big arc in La Castellana.
Yeah. Let them also know that going to La Carlota, to San Carlos City, there's also a chocolate hill.
Oh, and Joveline actually said, this is to Lee and all you guys, going to San Carlos, there's also chocolate hills. We've seen them, and we have actually seen them because we've been to San Carlos, and I can actually remember saying to Joveline, wow, look at them hills, they're like the chocolate hills in Bohol. So you've got the chocolate. Joveline said there's no, there is, I've seen them, right. And if you look to the right hand side, looks like the chocolate hills of Bohol. So to me knowing there's two lots of chocolate hills here on Negros. Right, so there's chocolate hills here on Negros. not just in Bohol, but I would actually like to go to Bohol because it looks quite nice and it looks to have some nice beaches. But you know, I think Lee said Chocolate Hills, that's saying Sipalai, so I don't know if there's chocolate.
Bohol.
Not on about Bohol, we're on about Sipalai. Oh yeah, so Lee's probably on about the Chocolate Hills in Bohol. Yeah, there's Chocolate Hills in Bohol, and they've got a rare little monkey. Yeah, so there's a rare little monkey, and you have to be very, very quiet because you disturb the monkeys. And if they get disturbed, they can go into a shock, and it can kill the little monkeys, right? Because they don't like human beings. Right, simple as that, really. So I actually rather than actually travel to Dumaguete, and I think there's a lot of foreigners in Dumaguete. So I'm not really, you know. When I actually came to the Philippines, this is strange as well, guys, you know. You'd be walking down the road here in the Philippines and you get a Filipino girl, a Filipino, girl, boy, man, woman, whatever, you know, and they'd say, there's a foreigner, there's a lot of foreigners live up there in that town. And I'd say, really? Well, you know, I didn't really come here to meet foreigners. I actually came here in the Philippines to get away from foreigners. Not exactly get away from foreigners, you know, I actually came here to meet the Filipino people, so to speak. You know, like I said, a lot of great foreigners, but I didn't come here to meet foreigners, you know. So, you know, I don't know if it's same with a lot of you guys, you know, a lot of you foreigners what come here to the Philippines. Do you like to be around the foreign people, you know, Americans, English, French, German? Because me personally, you know, if I do meet a foreigner, normally I'll say hello, hi, hello, quite a good few, thanks, right? So, if you come here to the Philippines and you actually want to be around foreigners, that's fine, but me personally, no. You know, it's okay to have a couple of foreign friends, maybe say hi, hello, but I'm not here to be around foreigners. I'm here to explore the Philippines, so to speak. I'm just looking if Lee's sent another message. Yeah, no. Oh, wait a moment. Chocolate Hills are there near. The Chocolate Hills are quite near to us. The Chocolate Hills in Bohol. Now, for us Bohol, I'm not sure, guys, right? But as I remember it, for us to get to Bohol, we either have to go into Bacolod City, and we can actually get a ferry or a ship across to Bohol from Bacolod, or we actually have to cross to the south of Cebu, and then we can actually get a ferry and we can cross to Bohol. So I think there's two ways to do it. Or we can fly to Bohol from Bacolod. So there's three ways to do it, as far as I'm aware. But the Chocolate Hills here, around Negros, yeah, they're quite near.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
on the motorbike, if I'm riding fast, right? If I'm riding fast, sometimes I'm riding fast. And sometimes I think, wow, I hope this bike don't go bang. You know, I hope this bike don't blow up. It's only 125. And, you know, when I've got it on full throttle, I back it off a tiny little bit. And then I just listen to the revs and it's just a notch. And then, you know, sometimes I kill it. But it's a low-powered bike and it should be fine. You know, when it comes to the mountains, it's very, very slow. But when it's going down the hills, it's quite fast. But all bikes are fast down hills. So it takes us to get to the Chocolate Hills an hour on that bike outside, two of us. If there's three on us on that bike, it takes a lot longer. But two of us on the bike, it takes us an hour to get to the Chocolate Hills. And that's giving, I could actually cut 5 minutes off that, but you know, you actually have to kill that bike, you have to thrash that bike, and it's only a low power motorbike, so it's around about an hour to get to the Chocolate Hills. And there's something else I'd love to see while I were actually here on Negros. You know, it's the volcano. I want to see that volcano. You know, and I do see it smoking, and some nights I see it lit up. It's a live volcano, and that's one of my things to do in life, see that volcano. It's not the first volcano I've seen, but it's, as far as I'm aware, it's the biggest live volcano, one of the biggest in the world here in the Philippines, one of. But you know, I'm not 100% sure, so I'd love to really see this volcano. And there's a city near the volcano, Canlahan City. I just love to go there 1, 2, maybe 3 days. You know, it would really be nice. Mayon, that's another volcano I want to see while I'm here on Negros. Another live volcano. You know, I watched the Mayon for a lot of years, and it were always erupting. So that's one of the other volcanoes I'd love to see. But I forgot what I'm going to say now, so, you know. But yeah, the Chocolate Hills, we've got Chocolate Hills here on Negros. The tree, the century tree. So, actually, before I actually came to the Philippines, there was quite a few things I wanted to see. One was the century tree. That was the big one, the century tree. So I actually wanted to see the century tree. So, Filipino eagle owl, and I wanted to see the Filipino eagle. And the volcano. Right, I can actually see. Paul, I'm going to use my glass. Can you remember a few years ago they had an earthquake in Lincolnshire, shook fault in Barnsley? Yeah. Right. England, it was years ago, as I remember, it was about 5-6 years ago. We had an earthquake in England, guys. Right. And 6 years ago, for many years, all I used to do, my passion, my hobby was training. So I just used to train. That was my hobby, that was my passion. Weight training, keeping fit, mountain biking. And I can actually remember, Lee, I was actually sat in a council house. It was my house, I was single and I was alone. And I was leant against the wall like this, and as I remember, smack on 1:05 in the morning. And I'm going through Men's Health, reading about nutrition, reading about diet. You know, even though we basically know everything about all the house, and I was there and it was boom, 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 boom. And I thought, wow. And I thought, wow, what the hell was that? And it was like, to explain, it was like some, you know, it was actually like 10 guys had got this sheet and they were smashing it against the wall, and the wall was going like that and the floor was going like that, and I thought, wow, I thought that was an earthquake. So yeah, I can remember I was actually sat reading Men's Health 1:05 in the morning. So I can remember the earthquake, yes. Jake Lee. So Jake, come back to Barnsley. Yeah, it'd be nice to come back to Barnsley. I've got a lot of things to do in Barnsley. But I can remember this earthquake. And I had a bull mastiff. So I had a bull mastiff at the time. And I think it even scared the dog, and that dog, not much really scared that dog. that earthquake. So I went down. I think my mum had passed away actually. No, more or less. And I went down to my dad's house, and I was saying to my brothers, me and my dad, cat and dog. That was me and my dad, cat and dog. So, you know, and I said, wow, what about that earthquake last night? And my dad was sat there and he always used to read papers. So I used to go down to the newsagent, come back, and he always used to read papers, whether it was Star, Barnsley Chronicle, you know, so I'd be reading paper, and I went, what about that earthquake? I said, oh, house was shaking, and my brother says, he says, I were in bed, he says, and house was shaking, and it threw him straight out of bed, and my dad went, don't be stupid. He says, we don't have earthquakes in England. I says, really? Then it came on news, earthquake in England. But I didn't know it was from Lincolnshire. So, you know, big earthquake. Let's have a look. How come I left Barnsley? Well, this is my third time actually in the Philippines. So I actually did leave Barnsley 2018, 2019. I left for a month. I wanted to go to Thailand or the Philippines. That's another long story. So what happened was, I came for a month to the Philippines 2018, 2019, and then I came back. I think it was a year after, and then 2024 I'm back. Now I'm here 2 years, 2024. So why I left England. You know, I'm happy that's a really good question. And I'll answer this question with something what happened to me a good few years ago, 20 years ago. You know, I'll just answer this one, I'll answer this question with this question. About 20 years ago, you know, I went for a job, and the job was at a glass place in a place called Tankersley. Now, in Tankersley, right, there's McDonald's. There's a McDonald's. You go past McDonald's to the end of the road, and there's a glass place. Then you go up the road, there's a fire station. So you got the glass place, and it was a girlfriend. And this girlfriend I had, I actually lived with a girlfriend about 12, 13 years. So I lived with this girl for about 13 years. He says, oh, I've got you an interview for a job. I said, really? I hadn't had a job for many years. All I wanted to do is go to the gym. And if I wanted to work, I might work 3 days a week. Go to the gym, go out shooting, mountain biking. And that's all I ever did, that type of thing. So I went for this job in a glass place. And, you know, the guy said to the girl, is this guy any good? And this was before I went for interview, and my girlfriend says, yeah, of course he's some good. He's hard working, you know, he's hard working. Oh, okay. And anyway, so I went for this job in this glass place. I walked in, I went, hi, hello, shook hands with this guy. And he went, right, I'll take you into the factory, and what it is, your job is, he says, I will give you, I can't remember if it was £380 a week. That was 5 days a week, and it was at night. So it was nights, right, 8 hours at night, and it was 5 days a week. Can't remember if it was £380 or £480, right. And I was really happy about this because it were a lovely bit of money, and it were a job, and I thought, wow, that'd be excellent for me. And he says, oh, you wear glasses. The glasses, the dreaded glasses. Yeah, the dreaded glasses. So you know, don't really bother me, glasses, you know, guys. Once upon a time when I was a kid, glasses bothered me, you know, specky and all that, but, you know, it don't really bother me now. So, and glasses can hold you back in some ways, but, you know, move forward, up and over. He says, all I want you to do, he says, this were a glass place, he says, I want you to do these glass windows, and it's all different coloured glass, and I want you to put these different coloured glass into there, and I want you to fit this lead and do all this. Follow this pattern, as I remember, follow this pattern. And he says, right, he says, do this, and he gave me, I can't remember if he gave me a piece of glass, a piece of lead, and I put it down, and I put it on, and I was looking at it, and I thought, oh, that's wrong. He says, that's wrong. And he just took it straight, you know, give me a chance, like, you know, just give me a chance. And I'm sure I can do it. It was a very, very easy job. He says, well, what it is with people with glasses, they have a split in the eye, and a lot of people with what wear glasses cannot do this job. I'm sorry you haven't got the job, Barnsley. I left Barnsley because I wanted a better lifestyle. I wanted to see more of the world. I wanted to travel. You know, and to be honest, guys, if you live in and you have to work 20 years just to buy an house, to buy a property. You know, you can actually come to the Philippines. I don't know, I've got a lot of people chatting on Messenger now. So, you know, that's why I actually came to the Philippines. Better lifestyle, more excitement, you know, wanted to see more places. You know, guys, when I were in Barnsley, I actually liked Barnsley. But before I actually started to do YouTube, you know, for about 5-6 years before I started to do a YouTube video, I watched YouTube, and I watched the Philippines, I watched Thailand, you know, I watched Spain. I actually wanted to go to Spain, and I wanted a job in Spain, and a lot of people said, oh, you do good in Spain, and that was the number one, Spain. And then I wanted to go to Thailand, then I ended up in the Philippines. So basically that's it. Just a better lifestyle. I can see the comment. Yes. Do I ever see myself coming back to Barnsley? Yes. I think it's inevitable, but I will come back to Barnsley. But I will actually get monetized on YouTube sooner or later. And, you know, this is to everyone, guys, not just me. You know, so all you guys out there, you know, things can be very, very hard, right? And you can be down, but we all work towards a goal, you know. Well, some of us do, and then, you know, some of us don't, but later on they might work towards a goal, or they'll just stay where they are, right? And it can be very hard working towards a goal, but anybody can actually achieve their goal, right? They can achieve it. It will happen. You know, positive attitude, it will happen. You'll get there in the end. So, you know, I think that's it. Will I get back to Barnsley? I think it's inevitable. But to be honest, when I actually do, right, I'd love to come back to Barnsley, and I'd love to start blogging, and I'd like to get back to Home Firth. I love Home Firth. I'd like to get to Cheshire, and there's a few places around Manchester and England a little bit. And I actually thought, well, you know, it's going to be really hard for me unless I'm up there, you know, got a good income off YouTube. If I have good income off YouTube, I can go back to England and I can travel around. But if I've got just a small income off YouTube, it would be actually very hard for me in Barnsley. 1, got nowhere to go in Barnsley. 2, I've got no job in Barnsley. if I got back to Barnsley, I'd just go back to gardening, but it's not easy, you know. But if I went back to Barnsley, I want to actually travel around England. So the big number one question will Barnsley. I've got nowhere in Barnsley to go back to. I've got no house to go to. I've got no job to go to. But sooner or later, maybe I have to go back to Barnsley. Live. Haha, that's another topic. Where will I live when I get back to Barnsley? It probably won't be in an house, that's for sure. It'll probably be on the back of a motorbike, or in a car, or in an old caravan. But, you know, we have to start somewhere. So, will I get back to Barnsley? I'd actually like to get back to Barnsley if I've got the money, buy a camper, right? If I buy a camper in England, then I will travel around England, the British Isles. But will I come back to the Philippines? Yes. But I'd like to travel to Thailand, I'd like to travel to Hong Kong. You know, I'd like to travel around Asia. But that's it. Nowhere to go in Barnsley. Surely the big earthquake. AG Glass. AG Glass. Right, AG Glass. Saw the guy at AG Glass. You know, hold on. Sorry. Yeah, I know I'm picking my snout. But hopefully I've got an air there. Anyway, it's this fever sending me crazy. AG Glass, yeah. So I never stood a chance, you know, and that's what happened to me a lot in Barnsley. You know, I'd go for a job and there might be 60, 70 people that go for a job in Barnsley. Might be 150 people. You know, what qualifications have you got? You know, what you're doing, what's this, what's that. And, you know, I've got qualifications, but, you know, it might not be in this, that and all the rest on it. And it's just not for me, you know, working in, I don't know how to really put this. Every time I went for a job, AG Glass, you know, gone. You know, maybe the guy have 50 friends and he wants to give one of his friends the job. Instead of giving me the job, he wants to give it to his friends. And you know, when I were unemployed, I signed off the dole, right, and I didn't, you know, what's it called? I didn't have dole. I thought, I'm not signing on the dole. I don't want dole money. So the only way I got money was gardening jobs, and that were it. So, you know, I didn't sign on the dole. I didn't take handouts off the dole. So a lot of the time, guys, you know, I was just unemployed, but I worked doing garden jobs. So, you know, when I went for a lot of these jobs, it was bum, bum, bum. You know, I never got the job, right? Which, I got into this attitude then is, there ain't no jobs, there isn't no jobs. So I created my own job. And that's what I did. I started doing gardens. And I've said before, I bought a lawnmower, I think it was 160 quid, and then I bought a wheelbarrow, and then I bought gardening. You wear a wheelbarrow, it's such a hard job if you ain't got transport. So that's what I did for a good few years, gardening jobs, and I never signed on dole, you know. And actually I were homeless. And for a little while I've been on the streets of Barnsley. And that's another big topic. You know, I actually was looking for a ghost writer. So I actually basically want someone to write a book about me. You know, and I actually tried to find someone when I was in England to write this book. Never found no one. Sooner or later I will actually find someone that can write a book, right? So, like my life story, so to speak. Yeah, I could easily work in a zoo, nature reserve, could easily do that, you know. And, you know, jobs actually I got sent for, guys, you know, it were jobs like cleaning. Cleaners work very hard, right? And it were always, you know, this was unemployment when I signed on Dole. I signed on Dole one day, right, to unemployment. And I signed on, and she gave me an interview. She come in, Mr. Such and so. Right, she says, you've got no qualifications, you basically, you know, you're at bottom. So this was me, I'm at bottom, I've got no, I'm nobody, I'm just a number. I don't know if I'm number 1 or number 5, or it's 10 million and 5. Right, she says, there's a job down Wombwell. I was down Wombwell at the job centre. There's a job, and it's cleaning oil. It's down at the garage, down on the main road in Wombwell, and what the job is, most of the day you'll be in a garage and you'll be helping the mechanics in the garage. But your main job will be emptying oil changes. So I'll be emptying oil, right, all day long, and I'll be putting oil into these big other 40 gallon drums. And that what job? And I thought, really? If you think that I'm actually going to go down to this garage, and if you actually think, yeah, I'm back to picking my snout. Right, last jobs I got offered, you know, and then I got jobs, and then they sent me for another job, and it was a driving job. So I passed my test, and I've been past my test, I don't know, 40 years. So I passed my test, so they sent me for another job. And this was down Wombwell, and it was, I think it was a furniture place. And I walked into this furniture place, and I says, hi, hello, yeah, I've been sent by unemployment benefit, you know, up there in Wombwell, and there's a driver job. Now, mate, there ain't no jobs here, pal. We've got a job here in back, cleaning car, and we're cleaning this and doing this, and I says, no, I'm here for a driving job. No, pal, we ain't got one. I says, okay, thank you very much, and that was it, I were off. So, that thing, so I thought I'm going to have to do something. So I started doing gardening jobs. So will I go back to UK maybe one day? But you never know, guys, you know, if my YouTube channel goes high, and I actually do earn a very, very good, but the only thing I'll be doing is blogging, and I'll be going into Barnsley, I'll be going to the cafe for a nice cup of coffee, and hopefully a lot of people and say hi, hello, and you know, I'm quite well known in Barnsley. You what? Yes, there's a window. Before I came to the Philippines, I was in Doncaster, and I was in Doncaster, and I could hear, and I said, what's that? And a friend of mine, a mate, he says, it's lions up in zoo. And we went to airport. We couldn't get into airport, so we went to bottom, and a friend of mine, watching planes coming in and taking off. So yeah, Doncaster. And you know, I'm not sure it's an international airport, Doncaster, because I thought, wow, I'd love to fly from Doncaster to the Philippines. But to be honest, you know, I think if I do come back to England, and when I do come back to England, there's quite a lot of things I want to get back into what I used to be into before. So, but will I come back to Barnsley? Don't know. Might come to Barnsley for a little while. You know, I'd love to go to Cheshire and I'd love to blog Cheshire, you know, and the places around Manchester. And like I said, there's a lot of great places in England, you know, which I'd like to blog. So, but who knows, will I get back to England? Probably one day, when, don't know. My plan was actually, guys, before I came here to the Philippines, I'll just go so far with this. My mum and my dad's house, when my mum and dad passed away, there were 6 of us got left the house. Now, I won't go into this, not at this precise moment, but my plan was, right, to live at my mum's house, right. It was left to 3 of us, 3 brothers, 3 sisters. It was left to 6 of us, right. And what I thought is, well, I won't sell my part of the house, I'll keep my part of the house. Then I've got a bedroom, then I can always go back to England, right. And I can go to the Philippines, I can always go back to England. You know, I can get a job, I can work if I've got no money. And then I can go to Thailand, I can go to Africa, I can go to Spain. You know, because I've got an home base. You know, I've got an England, I can just keep going back to England. And like I said, if I've got no money, I can work in England. But it didn't work like that. It's, you know, I've got nowhere to go back to in England. So that's basically nowhere to go back to in England. No job in England. That's it. Gone. So if I do come back to England, and like I said, I'll be the camper. Now, to buy a camper, wow, what do you need to buy a camper? 1,000, 20,000? So, you know, buying a camper is quite an expensive option, unless you've got the money. So, what's the next best alternative? Buying a car? 6-month tax and test? Right, so now you've got an old banger car, you insure it for 6 months, and then you drive around England. If it makes it. That's the other alternative. Doncaster Airport is closed. Yeah, Haworth. Hold on, Haworth. Which Haworth are we talking about? But Doncaster Airport's closed, it's going to reopen. I wonder why. I can remember Doncaster Airport had a terrorist threat, as I remember. So, Haworth, do you mean Haworth where the Bronte sisters were? The Bronte sisters. You know, there's so many great places in England, guys, and I haven't travelled them, you know, and I wish, right, I would have been in a different frame of mind. When I was in England, I wish I'd have had a different frame of mind, because I would have already travelled all the way around England, you know. Now I can see a comment. FS Paul of O'Grady. FFS Paul O'Grady. Right, Paul O'Grady. Right, Paul O'Grady is an animal lover and is a comedian. And if I look like Paul O'Grady, and you know, if I am actually as successful as Paul O'Grady, wow, how nice is that? Yeah, FA, I don't know what that. What? Are you going to read it? These are new ones.
This one, we went Bronte.
Oh, Bronte, yeah. Yeah, actually, guys, Let me just look at this smile. Ah, we've got a smile. DJ Cooper. I've never heard of DJ Cooper. Oh, just a moment, DJ Cooper. Rings a bell. Spain. 2 comedians. Make a comment. Right. Yeah, Bronte sisters. Me and Lee, we went to Haworth. Beautiful place in the Yorkshire Dales. I think it's the Yorkshire Dales. And wow, beautiful place. Beautiful history. Bronte sisters. You know, and the Bronte sisters, guys, it actually turned out to be quite a sad story. So yeah, I remember Lee, the Bronte sisters. There were 3 sisters, I'm sure there were 3 sisters, and there were 1 brother. Now, I know the brother's name, but at this precise moment I forgot the name. So, I can't remember the name of the guy. But, yeah, he liked his ale, so he liked to drink. And he hung out in the pub. Forgot the name of the pub, I'm sure he'll know the pub, right? So yeah, the Bronte sisters. Very, very sad story, guys, in England, the Bronte sisters. Thank you very much. Salamat! Salamat for joining us. Como están? Right. So, beautiful place, Aycliffe. I'm sure a lot of you ladies, if there's any ladies on from England, some of you guys are on from England, you'll remember Aycliffe, the Bronte sisters, very, very famous writers, novelists from England. And it was a very, very sad story.
Bronwyn.
Bronwyn, wow. You know, because Bronwyn, it was actually, guys, a failing artist, right? Now let me talk to you about people that fail. We all fail. I mean, I never look at anything as failing. You know, do we fail or are we just learning? So, Bromwell. So this guy called Bromwell, you know, like I said, he was a failing artist. That's not my quote. It's somewhere in society, you know, he just could never sell his pictures, right? And when he died, well, he became famous. You know, isn't it funny? You know, you're not so famous and then you die. And once you die, you become very famous. I don't know why. Right. Yeah, the Black Bull. I know Leah'd remember. So, there was a pub in Haworth called the Black Bull. Now there's a ghost. There's a ghost in the Black Bull. And it's supposed to be Bronwell. And that's what he did. He drunk that much alcohol, that much rum, beer. It killed him. So he drunk himself to death. And he never made it as an artist. Now I'm sure his art today, 2024, wow. You know, his art would actually be worth, I should think, a fortune. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But his 3 sisters, wow. His 3 sisters, guys, they were just so famous, very intelligent, you know. They've got bestseller novels. If you're not sure what a novel is, right, it's a book about that thick. Takes a long time, takes a lot of intelligence, a lot of imagination. I couldn't write one. You know, I've all on to write my name. So, you know, it would be actually, it would a pity what happened actually, because one of the sisters, I think she went to Scarborough, and what happening, guys, in Haworth many years ago with the Bronte sisters, you know, people were getting ill and they were dying. So a lot of people started to die in Haworth, England, and these are very, very famous people. And what happened was, you know, they sent someone, I think it was the government, they sent someone to Haworth to look, you know, why is all these people dying? And it was the water, cheers, the water was polluted. Now, where the sisters live, right, in Haworth, it was a parsonage, and the three sisters and Bromwell, the brother, they lived in a parsonage, and their father, was actually a parson, a vicar, a priest. I hope we've got that one correct. And everyone started to die, and what it was, at the bottom of the parsonage, the big house, the vicarage, the parsonage, you know, just at the bottom of the house there was a graveyard. So in the graveyard, what happened is, people were dying, and when people died, you know, they normally bury one person in a grave, so they put one person in a grave. But what they did in Haworth is they put another person in, another person in, another person in, and there were so many bodies stacked on each other, and they did this in the graveyard, all through the graveyard. And when it rained, it polluted the water source, and it actually killing everyone. And it, if I've got this correctly, it killed, let me just see what Lee says. Yeah, and you know, if I've got this correctly, you know, it was killing everyone, it polluted the water source. And the house actually now in Haworth, right, it is this is the Bronte sisters we're chatting about. You know, now guys, it's a museum. And, you know, you have to feel sorry because these three sisters was very, very famous, you know, very, very well known. And he was the brother, Bromwell, and the sisters, very, very famous, you know, in France, in Spain, in England, or probably all over the world now. But Bromwell was the failing artist, and he liked to drink, and the drink killed him, right? So failing, I don't think any of us really fail, to be honest. You know, you have to follow your passion. You know, if something doesn't work, try again. You know, I'm sure we've got a lot of negative people, you know, that are very negative, and, you know, the big shots, and they've got to say nasty things because the little people, they'll actually never rise above it because they're very lazy and they just cannot do it. And when other people, you know, rise to fame, a lot of people don't like it, but nice people actually like to see people climb to fame. So, famous people, and that was how they died. Now, I don't know, was it Anne? I can't remember the name. Yeah, the house was a museum, but I cannot remember the name of the sisters. Let me guess, Anne. Could be totally wrong, guys. Bronte sisters. She went to Scarborough, and what happened is she went to Scarborough, and Scarborough is actually, we say Scarborough. We're going to Skegness? No, Scarborough. We're going to Scarborough. So Scarborough is it's a from her illness, but she never recovered. You know, her illness that bad. She died in Scarborough, and she's buried in Scarborough. Okay, so it was a really sad story. So that were the Bronte sisters. So you can actually say, I know a little about the Bronte sisters, and I've been to the museum, but I haven't been in the museum. But I've been in the church, and I've got a video on it. Go back 3 years into my videos. You'll see the videos of Haworth. And if you're interested, watch it. You know, Bronte sisters. I think they sent another. You remember? Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, the plague. Right, guys, you remember Eyam. Now, I think it's spelled it's EYAM. I think it's pronounced Iam, the plague village in Derbyshire. Well, me and Lee actually went to this plague village in North, close from London. Right, there's a village in, is it Derbyshire? Yeah, Derbyshire, I can remember. We went to this place, Iam. It's on there, I think it's spelled Iam, I could be wrong, or it's pronounced, yeah. And it's a plague village, and I've got a video of that. You can go and check the videos. And that were the same, guys. How long have I been chatting here? Quite a while, fantastic. You know, once I get chatting, I just can't stop. Especially if it's a good connection. And while we were there, me and Lee and Lee's wife, and I think we took Dog. I think Dog went with us as well. So there were 3 of us, 4 of us. And I never knew about this village till Lee told me. And what it was, we went through this village, and all the houses where the people lived, they got the plague of the black rat. Now I can remember Lee telling me this a long time ago. And if I'm correct, they sent a parcel. So they sent a parcel up to Derbyshire, up to Derbyshire, let me try and get that name, Yam, can't pronounce it, I do apologise. And they sent a parcel up there. Now, it was, the plague was in the parcel, is that right, Lee? And it went to a post office. It went to a post office in the village, in the little town. I think one of the people got the plague, and then it went to, if I remember, someone went to collect the parcel, right? They opened the parcel, and it were already infected with a plague. A plague, to you Filipinos, is a terrible disease of rats. So the rat, there's a disease, what the rat, black rat in London killed millions. So this plague actually came up to Derbyshire, and as I remember, it came up in a parcel, if I remember. And everyone in the village, lots of people in the village, all died of the plague. So, you know, there's some great places in England. You know, there's plague villages. You know, many years ago, England, you know, wow. And there's still some great villages, great towns, and they're untouched. You know, there in England, guys, lot of great places and great history. We have actually got great history in England. So yes, I actually can remember the plague in, I'm going to pronounce it, I'm going to pronounce it but it's Yam. So I think it's but you know me, I'm not exactly educated according to some of you guys, but not to worry. So that were it, plague. So you know, so many things happened in England many years ago, and that were it, black rat. You know, like I said, I'll chat about it another time, living on the streets of England. But you know, when I first why did I start YouTube? If somebody asks, I'll tell them. You know, I started YouTube in the COVID, but I'm not going to that. I'll go into it another time. So you know, I think we've been online now for about 120 minutes. So I'll chat for another 10 minutes. So you know, lots of great history in England. But if I do come back to England, I'm going to go to Home Firth. I'll go to Barnsley, of course. I'll go to Home Firth, Cheshire, Manchester, and a few other places, you know, around. And like Lee, you know, I actually wanted to blog Doncaster. So I want, and Lincolnshire, I like to blog Lincolnshire, Doncaster. You know, so many places I would love to YouTube YouTube video blog. You know, so many places in England I would love to get back to. And then I will actually go to London. You know, so there's just so many places. And one of the places I actually wanted to go to before I actually came here was Kev, I think Kev, you know Kev. So I actually wanted to go to Kiev, Russia and Ukraine. I wanted to go to the Ukraine, but it sounds like Russia and the Ukraine are still at it. So, you know, crazy world. That's something else, guys, you know. There's so many crazy things going off in the world. You know, people come online and, you know, on YouTube, on Facebook, online, you can actually become anything you want to become. But you get quite a lot of people that, you know, they're just fools, and all that comes out of is just foolish comments. But that's personality, and that's just people, narcissist people. And you know, I actually love you haters, and I'm loving your comments. In fact, do I answer them now? No, I don't bother answering them, you know. But I know you'll be there. So will I get down to Dulmagetti? Who knows? I mean, I would like to travel to Dulmagetti, but not stop for one day, stop for about 3 days and travel around a little, you know, around Dulmagetti to Beerwan, Bass, and, you know, just around. There's lots of great places I'd like to see, especially Palawan. I need to go to Palawan now. And, you know, sooner or later, hopefully, we find good homes for our dogs. And I've told you, coming last night late. So me and Joveline came in about 9:30 last night late. And, you know, my chain and sprocket, it's not good, so I have to go. I'm doing about 2 kilometres an hour, 3 kilometres an hour. So I'm in the province now. I'm a kilometre through the rice fields, in the sugarcane. I'm a kilometre. So I'm out in the wilderness. And I saw this black dog and I thought, oh, it's a dog. Never paid any attention to the dog. Just saw him and he just looked like he was standing there. And I got about that far off him. Oh, and he were at it. He was trying to bite his legs. So I speeded up a little. Beep, kept the horn beeping. Just kept me at horn beeping. I speeded up to about 4 kilometres an hour. And I thought, wow, what's going off with all these crazy dogs in our province, attacking motorbikes and trying to bite your leg? Absolutely crazy. I don't know, you need to chain your dogs up, guys. Get them at back of a fence, you know. You really are going to run into some complications, I can tell you that. Because it's going to bite somebody's leg and you're going to get complications. So, anyway, I'll do another channel members only video Sunday. And to all you guys, so that's what I'll actually do, you know. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share the videos, don't forget to become a channel member, super chat, help to support the channel, and all the rest of it. Thank you very much, you know, for the support and for the non-support. Thank you very much. But you know, every little helps, a peso helps, and every little helps, a penny, 10 pence, 5 pence, it all helps. You know, simple as that really. So, like I said, would you like to say anything? Iam.
Do you remember Iam?
Iam. See, she's a better reader than me. She's a Filipina.
Yeah.
And, you know, she has actually got her own channel.
The Flag Village.
But I don't think any of you guys go over there and chat to Joveline. As far as I know, I don't know. But it's up to you if you like to go and check Joveline's channel out. Feel free. Right. Right, so, you know, that's it, guys. That's what'll happen to me if I go back to England. I'll probably be living in back of the car. Whatever, I don't know. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we come back, when we come to it. But, you know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. And it's an interesting answer, not very, very easy to answer. The reason it's not very easy to answer is, I suppose it's going to be a yes, because, you know, I do have to leave the Philippines after 3.5 years. But if I've got the budget, when I do actually leave the Philippines, I'll probably go to, I don't know, Hong Kong, Thailand, you know, I just jump to another island. And I think, so long as I'm out of the Philippines 3 days, but I'll do 5 days, so long as I'm out of the Philippines 3 days, 5 days, then I come back and I can renew my visa. So I think I can actually do that. So, Dumaguete, I don't know about Dumaguete. Jovelyn said, oh, we can go to Dumaguete, 3-hour travel from here. And I said, well, I'm sure there's a lot better places than Dumaguete. You know, I'm positive there is. What about Palawan, for instance? But, you know, we'll see. But, right, recap. Love to see the Century Tree. I would love to see this volcano, you know, go to Canlahan City. Love to visit. We've been very, very near. Had to turn back 3 times. Right, very, very near. And I'd love to go there, stay 1, 2, maybe 3 days. And then travel to San Carlos. And then just travel. But we can't do it, not now. So when we get the budget, we'll definitely do that. Century Tree, Filipino Eagle. I want to see the Filipino Eagle, Century Tree, the volcano, the Mayon. I want to see the Mayon. And there's probably quite a few other things I'd like to see, like Palawan. I'd love to go across into Thailand. You know, what part of Thailand would I like to go to? Phuket. Phuket, if I'm spelling that correctly. Well, not spelling it. Phuket. Why Phuket? Beautiful beaches. Right, guys, I don't drink, I don't go in bars. I'm not really interested in that side of it, right? But when I do get to Thailand, you know, I'll see what's there, lovely beaches, the nature, you know, rent a motorbike. Renting a motorbike in Thailand, you have to be careful. Right, Lee, yes, Haworth, I can remember Haworth. In fact, I was actually thinking about Haworth the other day, you know, and I was thinking about Holmfirth and Cheshire, you know, round about that area. Because there's so many beautiful places around Yorkshire and the UK, guys. You know, there's a lot of really nice places. You know, Wentworth, I'd like to go back to Wentworth. You know, I'd like to go to the garden centre in Wentworth and have a nice meal, right? There's 2 cafes now. The Bistro, I've been told, in Wentworth is now closed. I think Lee told me that. Right, guys, I think I've been chatting 1.5 hours. So I hope you're all fine and taking care. Take care, God bless, have a happy week ahead. Oh, it's Friday. Happy Friday, it's happy weekend. Tomorrow we're going to Mercia. Maybe I can upload a video. It'll be a little video, but maybe I can upload a video. And then come Saturday, Sunday, we're up early. More or less 4, we're probably 5. We'll set off in the dark, so I'll actually do a video on the famous street market. So I'll be back in Mercia. And you never know, I might bump into a friend in Mercia, because there's one person I'd like to bump into, and we'll see if I get there. But then the thing is, you know, I have to ask chat, and if need to ask this person something. Right, so hopefully, you know, you all have a nice happy weekend. And that's it. So, have a beautiful evening, have a beautiful morning, wherever you are in the world. Lee, take care. Please become a channel member. You know, if you're a channel member, you light up, you look a lot better. Now, if there's any comments and I've missed them, if I've missed any of your comments, guys, you know, comments that actually are worth answering, I do apologise. Now, like I said, if it's a full comment, not to worry. You know, what does it matter? On Firth. Yeah, over to Cheshire, over to Manchester. Make a comment if you're in England. What's a beautiful place in England? I'd like to go back to Wentworth and the surrounding areas. But at this precise moment in time, where would I like... Oh, now then, what, the Cannon Hall. I'd like to go back to Cannon Hall as well. Just a day in Cannon Hall. You know, Blog Cannon Hall. And, you know, around that area. There's just so many things. In England, guys, it's like, when I'm here in the Philippines, I'm riding my motorbike. I go straight across the field. I go down a path across the countryside. And then we'll drive down the road and we'll come round the bend. Wow, something's there. We always find something new and something very exciting here. And that's what I love about England, actually. So when I get back to England, I need the money for a car or a motorbike so I can actually travel around. Or, you know, if I actually did it with a bus or a train, I'd be roughing it because I'd be sleeping on the street. Not much fun, is it? Not really. Right, Lee, take care, God bless, happy weekend ahead. I'm going to end the blog now. Right, guys, take care. Don't forget, you can always check Jovelyn's channel out. Jovelyn's not going to chat to you tonight. She's on her phone. Maybe she's on her YouTube channel now. So, go to her channel, check it out. But I don't know what she's doing, to be honest. Take care, God bless, happy weekend. Please message me if you want to ask me anything. Facebook, YouTube, Messenger, that's the way to go. Happy weekend, guys.